To security matters in Egypt now, and human rights groups are accusing France of involvement in what they term as repression in Egypt. In a report commissioned by 4 French and Egyptian human rights groups, the French government is being blamed for supplying weapons and surveillance systems to President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's government. The reports add that France has helped to establish what they termed as Orwelian surveillance and control tools. The report puts the French arms sale to Egypt at $1.5 billion between 2010 and 2016. Well, let's get you more on this. We're joined by CGTN's Abdel El-Mahrouhi, who is in Cairo for us. Abdel, France is being accused of aiding the suppression of civil liberties in Egypt through the sale of arms. Has there been any response to this? And if not, how is the government likely to react to these allegations?
There hasn't been any official response yet, neither from the Egyptian nor from the French government. We're still waiting for a confirmation, rejection, or dismissal of the claims in these reports that have been brought up by several human rights organizations that are working internationally and domestically in both countries as well. What we know for sure is that there has been a significant boost in the military relations between Egypt and France, particularly after President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi rose to power. Egypt was one of the first countries, sometimes in the world, when it comes to purchasing the Rafale fighter jets. Egypt was the first country in the world to get these fighter jets before any other country in the world, and also the first country to get the Go-Wind brigades from the French ones, of course, in the Middle East. So there has been sort of a boost in these military purchases and relations. But also let's not dismiss the timing of these reports. They come out on the same day that the Egyptian defense minister, the new defense minister, who has been appointed about 5 or 6 weeks ago by the Egyptian president, pays his first foreign visit to France in continuation of the efforts between the defense ministries of both nations to continue their military cooperation. Egypt and France have been heavily invested in aiding each other and having military drills in the Sinai area and the Red Sea and Mediterranean. All has been focused, at least officially announced, to focus on combating terrorism. So that includes, of course, some surveillance, some computer monitoring of specific terrorist entities. Now, it is not clear if that technology has been used beyond this scope, but at least officially this is what the Egyptian government has been stressing on for the past years, that it is exclusively using these technologies and whatever military and security capabilities it has to fight terrorism and to combat the threat of terrorism. That, of course, contradicts with the accusations that has been chasing the Egyptian government for years as well for political detainees, having tens of thousands of political detainees in prison without any judicial justification for it. The claim that the Egyptian government has repeatedly denied. The President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi himself in more than an occasion confirmed that there are no political detainees in Egypt.
So, as you say, there's been a boost in military ties between Egypt and France. Do you think then that these allegations are likely to have a negative impact?
It is not clear yet. It depends, of course, about what kind of information are in these reports. There will definitely be an internal investigation within the Egyptian government, within the French government, to know how such information, if true, leaked outside. That's one step for it. And accordingly, it may affect or not. It is way early to judge. But from what we've seen so far with President Francois Hollande and President Macron now, that both French presidents have a very strong relationship with the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and they intend to continue these relations. At least this is what has appeared in all international occasions through which both presidents have been meeting and talking to the press at. So it seems that the relationship at this stage, it's too strong for such a thing to shake it. But again, maybe from the French side, with the rise of the criticism against the government and when investigations, if they start, it will reflect the seriousness of these allegations, and therefore there might be some sort of an internal pressure to the French government. But from the Egyptian side, it is not likely that such an allegation will change anything that the Egyptian government has been trying to approach or boast these ties, the military ties specifically with France.
Okay, thanks very much for that, Abdel. That was CGTN's Abdel El Barouhi there in Cairo for us.